All right, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking at something absolutely fascinating today, the worldview of ancient cultures. We're pulling directly from a massive gallery by the World History Encyclopedia to explore the honestly brilliant history of early mapmaking. And, this isn't just about geography. It's a story of how our ancestors quite literally charted their reality and tried to figure out their place in the universe. But before we get too deep, I actually want you to pause for a second. Really ask yourself, how did our ancestors view their world? I mean, think about what it took for early humans to conceptualize their existence without any of the modern tech we take for granted, right? There's no GPS, absolutely no satellites, no digital maps sitting in our pockets to pull up whenever we get turned around. Everything they knew about the world relied on human observation, pure ingenuity, and this incredibly deep connection to their surroundings. So to really get this, we have to reframe what mapmaking, cartography, actually meant to them. It wasn't just drawing a few lines on a piece of clay or some parchment. According to our source, cartography was the practice of combining past and present knowledge to map the world specifically for the benefit of future generations. It was this massive, deeply collaborative, cross-generational effort. Take the early Babylonian world maps, for example. Those weren't just sketched out on a lazy Tuesday afternoon. No way. They were updated and refined over centuries. Every single map was essentially a time capsule. Now, the source gallery we're looking at traces this entire history through a really carefully curated selection of exactly 30 historical maps. Just 30 key artifacts. But man, together, they show the sheer breadth of the human drive to chart reality over thousands of years. And what's wild is the global diversity here. We're talking everything from Paleolithic scratchings on cave walls, all the way to intricate Mesopotamian clay tablets and sweeping European parchment maps. Each one is basically a window right into the minds of the people who made it. The timeline we're looking at is huge. It starts all the way back in the Paleolithic era, jumps to pivotal moments like 1600 BCE during the Bronze Age, and stretches right up to the early modern period. It's a literal chronological roadmap of human curiosity. And by following these specific points in time, you can actually see how human awareness just kept expanding from, tiny localized hunter-gatherer ranges all the way up to these massive interconnected global trade networks. And when you look at the scope of what they were mapping, it's staggering. They weren't just charting the patch of dirt outside their front door. The subjects cover local cities, regional states, massive continents, the entire known world, and, this is the best part, the stars. For instance, you'd have cartographers meticulously mapping out a brand new trade route between states, while others were plotting the exact constellations sailors needed to not get lost at sea. It shows a worldview that was highly structured and honestly incredibly ambitious. You can almost think of this whole historical evolution like a giant thematic zoom out. Step by step, the human perspective just kept expanding. Step 1, early communities mapped the ground right beneath their feet, local city plans, immediate resources. Then, step 2, as trade and travel grew, they expanded outward to regional states. Step 3, bold explorers start charting entire continents. And finally, step 4, they try to visualize the entire known world as one cohesive thing. It's this beautiful story of human awareness constantly pushing past the horizon. And this brilliantly illustrates a really fascinating split in early cartography: terrestrial mapping versus celestial mapping. Basically, looking down versus looking up. On one hand, you've got terrestrial mapping, charting the physical Earth, the cities and continents we just talked about. But on the flip side, you have celestial mapping. Because ancient people weren't just obsessed with the ground, they desperately wanted to understand the heavens. And not just because it looked pretty. Charting the stars was absolutely crucial for navigating oceans, knowing when to plant crops, and anchoring their deepest religious beliefs. Which brings us to, without a doubt, one of the most remarkable items in this entire collection, the Nebra sky disk. Found in Nebra, Germany, this isn't just a map. It's a breathtaking physical artifact that completely captures that wild, ancient ambition to map the cosmos. It is a tangible, real-world connection to exactly how our ancestors visualized that mysterious, swirling expanse right above their heads. Now, to really appreciate the gravity of this thing, think about the year it was made, 1600 BCE. We are talking about something created over 3.5 millennia ago, 3,500 years. It completely reframes how long humanity has been obsessed with the night sky. Way, way before telescopes or satellites, people were standing outside in the dark, looking up, and meticulously recording what they saw. So what exactly is the Nebra sky disk? Well, this Bronze Age masterpiece maps the celestial world using this stunning gold inlay set against a dark bronze background. It clearly shows the sun, or, maybe a full moon, right next to a very distinct crescent moon and a cluster of stars that historians are pretty sure is the Pleiades. It's this unbelievable blend of ancient scientific observation and just top-tier craftsmanship. It proves, for sure, that trying to make sense of the cosmos is just a universal human trait. And it all points back to this really profound realization from our source. Humans throughout history have worked together to combine their past and present knowledge for the benefit of future generations. I just love that because it reminds us that cartography was never a solo gig. These maps were the ultimate tool for sharing knowledge across time. They were survival guides, historical records, and brilliant scientific achievements, just totally rolled into one. So I want to leave you with a thought to chew on. If ancient maps, from little clay city blueprints to the massive Nebra sky disk, show us the expanding, deeply collaborative worldview of our ancestors, what on earth will our modern maps tell future historians about our worldview? When someone looks back at our digital grids and satellite data thousands of years from now, how will they think we viewed our place in the universe? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this deep dive sparked your curiosity to go learn a little bit more.